What's going on, my video viewing audience? This is Leonard Roy. And this is for this Antonio Speaks. This character came across my one of his videos came across my feed, and I was like, oh my goodness, another misinformed one, another one of those vote blue, no matter who, blacks, right? And he wasn't even saying anything that he has in his head politically. He's like, well, I'm new to the political game. Well, if you're that new, you don't need to talk about it because you make yourself look silly, outside of all that long, pretty hair, 2 earrings, and your ear looking like Fleece Johnson bait. Oh, yeah, that's you young boys, boy. Y'all some non-masculine looking. Ooh, boy, y'all some non-masculine looking. But y'all, it's cool for y'all, but shoot, I would have been looking like that back in my day going to school. I would have got beat up several times a day. But anyway, Republican versus Democrat, point one. When was the first black senator, and of what party, in what state, voted in office in this country? That would be Hiram Reeves. Rose Reeves, I always mess the last name up. 1870 in the state of Mississippi, black Republican. Now, who was the first black Democrat senator voted in office? That was 1993, Carol Moseley Braun, in the state that I come from, Illinois. So let's see. So you got 1870 to 1993. That's a lot of time for them to finally vote one in. You sure that the doggone Republicans are the racists? Seeing as the Republicans had many blacks voted into office and thus and so, and the Democrats didn't. All right, let's move up a little bit more in time. Let's go to that movie, Birth of a Nation, that all these people say gave rebirth to the Ku Klux Klan, this and that. That's the very first movie that was ever shown in the White House. Yes, and the president at that time said it was like history, lightning in a bottle. Yeah, he said that. That was a Democrat president. Same Democrat president that tried to change the laws to the North to make Northern laws reflect the Jim Crow South. Oh, yeah. So let's go fast forward some more. Let's go to the Civil Rights era when I was born. Okay, you had Martin Luther King over here. You had the Black Panthers over there. You had the Nation of Islam over here. You had the Vietnam War protesters over here. You had the doggone women's liberation people over here. All this stuff is going on. Okay. And the then president, LBJ, had to do something to appease America because America was going to explode. It was a powder keg. Civil Rights Act. Now, look up who opposed it and look at who voted 100% in favor. The Republicans voted 100% in favor of the Civil Rights Bill. The Democrats didn't. Now, if my history is correct, had the Republicans lost 3 votes, the Civil Rights Act never would have passed. Dig that, young man. Now, let's go into some more. Let's get up to this Willie Lynch letter thing. Oh, yeah, Willie Lynch. Yeah. That started a like-minded St. Louis newspaper person, wrote it in a newspaper. Then it appeared in this movie, Animal, with Ving Rhames and what's that dude? Terrence Howard. Or Terrence, whatever it is. He always talk like this in the same movie. He always sound the same. He was in Hustle and Flow and a bunch of other movies, right? Anyway, You had people that researched it because you have people that actually they look at documentation and the way it's put together, and they determined uh, the words that were used were not time period sensitive for when the letter was supposed to have been written. Just to give you an example, quick example. If you get a Martin Luther King speech, and this is the original speech, and you're like, I have a dream that the youngins won't be wearing bling bling. Doggone well, they wasn't saying bling bling back then. And once the young people, they stopped talking about their drip, those slang words weren't being used in the 60s. Drip, bling bling, none of that stuff. Come on now, stop it. And that's the reason they could find out the Willie Lynch letter was fake, okay? Due to the words that were being used in it, like foolproof. They didn't say those words like that way back then. That started in the 19th century. 20th century, one of them up this time. I get caught up on centuries. Yeah. Yes, indeed. So you want to get put on politics, boy? Go ahead. You better come with some doggone facts. And come with facts of your own. I mean, stuff that you've read and you've determined. Oh, and if somebody say, Trump is a racist because of the Central Park Five. Okay, when he took the ad out in the newspaper for the Central Park Five, it was 10 days after they confessed to the crime themselves, right? Nobody knew they were forced. And also, Trump at that time, he was a Democrat. So leave that, put that in there while you're talking about, he's a racist and this and that because he's a Republican. No, he was a Democrat when that happened. Show enough. Yeah. You enjoy that nice day off for Martin Luther King Day? Yeah. President Ronald Reagan, Republican, made that happen. And then let's get into Black History Month being recognized as a whole month. That was Republican President Gerald Ford, 1976, the bicentennial year of this country. That's when that came into the celebration. Yeah. And for all them blacks that say, see what the government do, they give us the shortest month of the year to celebrate Black history. Nope. Okay. Carter G. Woodson, he started celebrating Frederick Douglass' birthday. Initially, it was called Negro Week. Then it started being celebrated for the whole month, and one thing led to another one, and bada boom, bada bang. Just that simple. Let's see, when Black people, when they don't do their own research, they don't know these things. I've seen people go back with that information to their parents. No, see, that's not right. It's not? Okay. So you're trying to tell me that the first Black governor in the United States ever was elected in Mississippi and he was a Republican? You trying to say that's not true? Oh yeah. So before you stick your feet in politics game, you better tighten up on your backstroke, young man. I'm just letting you know from an old man to a young man. I tell you, I don't know why all you youngins walking around here looking like Fleece Johnson bait, pants hanging below your butt, wearing spandex under the doggone pants. If you don't want your drawers to show, and then the spandex got them in different colors to match this and that. Y'all running around looking. Hey. Woo, boy, Sinead ain't in a mug, but hey, it is what it is. It is. Deuces.